Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video, and we are on for another huge arc update. It is gigantic. Now, there is some awesome stuff coming out in this update. The TLC 3 is kind of what it's all centered around, but Arc just released some awesome information. I'm not going to quite show you the picture yet because I am super excited because the meta is about to change. Now, a lot of people in the past have, well, I guess in one of my more recent videos, people told me that I said, hey, bug breeding's coming, and they were like, no, you're wrong, it's just chibis. Well, let me introduce you to the newest update, where bug breeding and bat breeding is now a thing. Now, this is going to be a huge change in the meta. Now, a lot of people don't believe me when I say this, but first off, these guys, Lymantria, have a crazy ability to serve as soakers. They can drain turrets. Now that you can imprint to them and increase their stats through breeding, you are going to have some crazy Lymantria soakers. If you don't believe me, I made a video about it. They take heavily reduced damage, and if you can imprint to them, whew, it's going to be scary. Now these guys, they are able to literally chew on structure. So a lot of people use mechs because these things take a little bit longer because you can only get them so high in melee damage. Can you imagine having these things with like base starting out at like 80-ish points in melee damage? You're gonna couple tap metal foundations. Even tech, you can chew through it all with one of these things. So some of these are gonna be crazy. Spiders, if you can actually increase their melee ability, they have some really neat attacks that do torpidity as well as webbing. I'm not sure how people are going to use them yet, but I'm sure someone will come up with. So I know that people use them for cave defenses right now, and they're pretty OP for that, but I'm sure that someone will come up for something. Now let's get to this guy. This one is going to be a literal glass cannon. Now, if you haven't jacked their melee up already and put a sword in their hand, yeah, you should, because they do so much damage. We're talking like Giganotosaurus damage. Now, these things, if you put a high-level sword, a good saddle on them, and some jacked up melee, especially with imprint bonus, you're going to see people doing thousands of damage with Mantis. Now, these might be a new thing. What I think it's fair about it, they do so much damage with their little glass cannon because a couple taps and they're dead. But if you can imprint them, ooh man, these things could be super overpowered. And then we've got the Onyx. Now the Onyx, if you don't know this, it does have the ability, it's super frustrating. If someone tames a swarm of bats and comes after you with them, it is beyond frustrating because they are very difficult to hit because they have such a quick turn radius. They're very fast. They do a ton of damage. If you can breed these things now and just let's say you have one nearby on follow and you put it on neutral and someone shoots at you, this thing will literally serve as a heat-seeking missile. So not only you can shoot back to figure out where they are, but this thing will chase them down while you are as well. It's amazing. It's an awesome idea. So I think you should, I don't know. I think there's a lot of cool stuff. And they give you mega rabies, but we won't go there. Now, you can see this right here, November 7th. So we've got, give or take, about 2 weeks. And obviously you can see that they got the Stego and the Mammoth, bunch of QOL changes, and a bunch of new breedable creatures. Now I want to show you about this. If you didn't know this already, insect and wyvern breeding. Yes, that is for realsies. That is not something that's being made up. And it's going to be really cool. But that being said, they realize that they'll monitor it because some of these things are going to be overpowered insanely fast. Like, can you imagine some poison wyverns that are well bred? Ooh, that's going to one-tap some people. Now, check out this. Spider, Onyx, Moth, Scorpion, Arthropleura, Manta. I don't really know the value of the Scorpion other than being frustrating maybe, but the Wyverns are going to be super sick. So I'm excited about that. You're still going to have to feed them milk, which I'm not sure. You're going to have to be on a map where there is milk in order to breed them. But that's kind of how it was anyways. So you can see this, they are very similar to the smaller tame. Spiders hatch super quickly. Bats pretty quick. You can see they're all, Moth is going to, this is the one I'm watching out for. The Moth, the fact that you can raise one in a day in 6 hours is bonkers. It's nuts. So you're going to be able to crank these things out, and I'm super curious to see how it goes. Arthropleura, they're a little bit longer, but they're pretty cool. I still think it's pretty neat. Mantis, you can see this right here. a little bit longer as well, but I think they can also be much more. Of all of them, these have the highest chance to be overpowered. Moth, also pretty high on that list. Very similar to a trike. They're going to be crazy. Giganotosaurus, you can see this. They made it so it's easier to raise. Yay! Giganotosaurus. Not something I'm excited about at all. I really don't like Gigas. They ruin the game, in my opinion. Diplocaulus, this isn't really something that helps anybody because no one uses the Diplocaulus to farm for pearls and stuff anymore, or chitin. If you use a Diplocaulus to kill trilobites, you can get a stupid amount of chitin. Sometimes you get lucky and get some pearls as well. So, kind of cool. Now, this is interesting. The Thylacoleo almost had equivalent stats to a Rex. Now, it's got a bleed to its basic attack. Not a special attack. It's basic attack. This thing, if people are paying attention, is about to become stupid overpowerful. They have crazy speed. They can jump up walls. They can run literally up a wall. They have a ton of health. They have a ton of damage. And now it does a bleed. The Thylacoleo might quickly replace a lot of tames because not only are they fast, but they can do a bleed. Come on now. That's crazy. I don't like this, but that's my opinion. How much more do you want to say? The Megatrons are already stupid overpowered, and now it's their depth requirement is lower, so they can be raised anywhere. No thanks. Wyverns, obviously this is super exciting. Zombie wyverns are tameable, but can't be bred. If you didn't know that, tame them. They're pretty sweet and highly overpowered. You can see this. You can see slight stat rebalance, so they're now breedable and bring them in line with the crystal wyverns. Kind of cool. Kind of cool that they got the stat boost. But that's my personal opinion. But megalodons, these are going to be interesting. So they have a pack bonus now, which where they take damage reduction and damage increase per pack member, very similar to a compy. So I'm curious to see how that works. This, I don't know why they're adding so many things with bleed, but the megalodon now has bleed, so it's actually kind of scary. It means that 5% of your damage per bite. See ya. And they made it more quick to raise one of these things, matching a Megaloceros. If you wanted to, megalodons could become very overpowered because before they were kind of like super squishy, and now it's just like, why are you adding so many overpowered tames? You can see Jerboas can now carry a bunch, which is kind of cool. I like that. Increased metal weight reduction by 10%, so another 85% reduction in an Anki. That's awesome, especially starting off for people that don't have Carcanos. That's really useful. That means per trip, per metal one, you can carry 10% more metal. That's a lot. If you're coming back with 2,000, that means you're getting an extra 200 metal per run. Yeah, nice. Here's another cool thing. You can now turn when rolling with a Doedicarus. I am curious to see if anything comes out of this. Because when you're in that roll mode, you take heavily reduced damage. And if you have more control about it, I'm kind of curious. Basilisk now has eyes. I don't really know what that means. I honestly have no idea. I thought they had eyes ahead of time, so it's shocking me just as much. Now, this is another cool feature. Needed it 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. But oh well, the taming HUD. You can see this to monitor your unconscious wild tames, keep track of the following: the creature level, taming, unconsciousness, effectiveness, food, health, distance from it, so you don't just like lose it. Think about how many times in the past you've like lost something you've knocked out. I've done it before. In my first couple of weeks of ARC, I was like, where was it again? But now that it has it, yes please. And look at this. This is a nice little readout, if you want to call it that. Now, why I say it would have been useful 3 or 4 years ago, no one really tames things anymore unless you're on an unofficial server. So this is really a convenient thing to have. It'll tell you exactly where everything is, and it just adds to your little... I don't know what this is yet. I'm curious to see what this is. My mouse is over right there. That little file folder. We'll see. But this is your taming progress, and we'll kind of... it's a cool little thing. I'm super excited about that because it's I do a lot of restart servers, so having that'll be nice to have. Now, another one. Wow. People could already farm the crap out of island and center bosses. Now they're literally doubling the amount of element you get. So people that are on Island and Center, yeah, you no longer have to go over somewhere for more element. You can just farm out what you need for a boss run and boom, crank out a couple hundred. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I mean, what is it, like 200-ish for Alpha Center Boss? So you can get like 400 or 500, whatever it is. That's crazy. That's awesome. So that's pretty sweet. Another quality of life thing. Yes, please. A quick way to update your nearby turrets. I don't know if you saw this, but basically it allows you to pin code all turrets in range. So you don't have to do it one by one. You can copy all turrets in range and then change the specific ones you want. And then you can see copy settings to pin coded turrets in range. That's pretty cool. Copied our power state range targeting warning. Pretty sweet. And I'm super excited. These are really awesome things for the base game that make your time a lot easier. But I don't know. It's pretty cool. And I'm pretty excited about it. So you can see this right here. Upgrade the server transfer infrastructure to intent to basically what they're trying to do is prevent character loss, latency, timeout. I don't know if you've experienced as much as I have. When you transfer between servers, it's basically got to load your entire character in and everything it knows. Now the server doesn't like that, so it'll basically kick you to load it once and then bring you back in more reasonably. So they've basically changed it, increased hardware upgrades, and basically shown it so they can hopefully with official servers fix this issue, and then it'll kind of like do a trickle down thing. So I hope that helps a lot. And you see that hopefully it comes out before the Extra Life weekend, but we'll see. But oh well. And then anticipate the transfer downtime could last up to 24 hours while they fix it. Not a big deal because in the long run, it's going to make it a lot better and better off. As usual, I'm going to scroll through. This is so sick. Almoro 395. That is probably one of the coolest pictures I've seen. That is sick. Snow Owl is pretty cool looking. That one's kind of funky. The base here, kind of cool. This Deinonychus is beautiful. Wow. That is an awesome picture. That is so cool. I don't know who this is, but I want them to draw something for me. That is awesome. That would be so sick. All right, anyways, this is Teach's little update here, and I hope you do enjoy the video. If there's anything you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below, or if there's anything you disagree with, let me know, and I'll try and respond to it. Other than that, if you haven't subscribed and liked already, that would be awesome. I appreciate all of you that have done that. It's been so much fun. And I will keep cranking these out, and hopefully you guys are enjoying them. All right, Teach. Ow.